Welcome. My name is Bonnie, and I have the honor of facilitating yoga for Yoga for Change in Jacksonville, Florida. I also facilitate yoga and mindfulness practices through the Lotus Yoga Collaborative, which is also here in Jacksonville. Today, we'll explore a vinyasa flow class of approximately 45 minutes in length. And so, if you'd like, you can begin to find your way to a sitting position on your mat. Now, some of you might choose to slide a blanket or a block underneath your seat. If you lift your seat up off the ground, it might provide some support for your spine and for your hips. So just make your way to a sitting position that allows you to connect to the surface beneath your body, and that begins to feel supportive for your body here and now. As we practice together today, you have the option to keep your eyes open with a soft gaze or to close your eyes at any point along the way that's interesting to you. And I'll offer a series of options along the way. And my invitation to you is to take what you need and to leave the rest. So you might explore whatever option feels most supportive and interesting to you as you meet yourself on your mat here today. And so taking a few moments to settle on your mat, we might take a moment to arrive, to shift our attention from whatever was happening before our practice here together, to our mats, to our bodies, to our breath. So you might begin here to notice the surface beneath your body. You might take a moment to notice the touch points of your body to whatever surface is beneath them. And so maybe we're sitting and noticing that we're sitting. Bringing the attention of our minds into the same place as the actions of our bodies. And then if you like, you can shift your attention here to the movement of your breath. And you might take a moment to notice your breath in its natural rhythm. There is expansion and release of the breath as it moves through your body. Your body makes room for the breath to enter on the inhale, and then it allows it to leave when it's ready on the exhale. There is both this practice as we breathe of receiving and of letting go. If you like, you can begin to expand your breath. You can begin to stretch it out until you find just the right pace and rhythm for you of your breath today. And so perhaps breathing and noticing that you're breathing over and over and over again, I'll invite you to bring the attention of your mind into the same place as the action of your body. In this way, we begin to attend to the present moment experiences of our body, and we begin the practice of focusing on the here and on the now. So as you're ready here, you might take your arms all the way up. You might do this on an inhale, and you might begin to slide your biceps back. Chest might begin to rise, fingertips might begin to expand. And as you slide your arms back, you might notice what sensation begins to arise in your body. And inhale here. And as you exhale, lower your arms down, perhaps like you're moving through water. So we add a little internal resistance. Inhale, arms sweep back up. Exhale, arms lower down by your sides. A few more rounds here. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, arms lower down. Moving here to the rhythm and the pace of your breath, and noticing perhaps with this movement, some warming, some waking of the muscles of your arms and shoulders, perhaps some quality of lifting and lengthening through your spine. Now, next time your arms sweep up, you might hold them at the top. Option to interlace your fingers here to spin your palms to the sky. Now, you have the option to keep your elbows nice and wide here, or you can begin to straighten out your arms. You might check in with your body to see what feels most supportive for you. And then inhale here, extend your spine. And as you exhale, option to tuck your chin and round your spine and begin to broaden through the upper part of your back. You might begin to draw your chest towards your upper back, inviting this integration of the front of your body with the back of your body, noticing how as you draw your chest to your upper back, the front of your body might support the opening of the back of your body. Option to stay here or to begin to move with your breath. If you're moving, you might rise on an in-breath and round on an out-breath. You might rise on an in-breath, round on an out-breath, and if there's some other pace and rhythm of movement that feels more appropriate for you, listen to your body. Let your body be your guide. A few more rounds here, warming through your spine, warming through your shoulders, perhaps noticing the energy that begins to rise in your body. Yeah, and the next time your arms sweep up, you might hold them there and release them down by the sides of your body, noticing the release of the muscular effort. Now, if you'd like here, you can bring your palms together at your heart center. So this short sequence here will begin to warm up a little bit more fully our shoulders, our chests, our upper back, and our spines. So we'll take it nice and slowly for the first round. So from here, you might press your palms and your fingertips together towards the midline of your body. And you might bring your attention to the place where your palms and the heels of your hands meet. You might notice the just enough of the effort here. Right? So it's not a forceful effort, perhaps, not pushing our hands in as much as we possibly can. And it's also not a complete release, right? We're not completely unplugging from the body. So you might begin to energize your palms together enough that sensation begins to be available to you. You might notice what it feels like when your palms meet. You might notice the sensations of touch, the qualities of connection as you breathe. Now from here, option to interlace your fingers to lift your elbows and begin to nudge your elbows apart. You can lift your chest here if that feels useful. You might begin to broaden through your collarbone and continue to breathe as you interact with the sensations that arise in your body. And inhale here. As you exhale, option to spin your palms open, to tuck your chin, and once again to round your spine, and to draw your chest towards the upper part of your back, integrating the front of your body with the back of your body. From here, you might rise up on and inhale, sliding your biceps back and beginning to broaden and expand through your chest. As you exhale here, wide arm twist to your right. Wide arm twist to your right. Fingertips might expand here, and you might begin to roll the right side of your chest towards the right side of your upper back. Integration between the front of your body and the back of your body. On your next in-breath, arms might come back to center, grounding through your seat, rising through your fingertips, and with your exhale, twisting now to your left. Shoulders might soften, fingertips might expand. Options of ways for you to check in and notice what's living and breathing and asking for your attention in your body. Arms might sweep back to center as you breathe in. And this time with your exhale, you might lower your right hand to the ground. Option to stay upright here or to begin to lean over to the right side and begin to expand into the left side of your waist. From here, you might notice the right side of your waist, and you can begin to expand it towards your left, noticing how the right side supports the opening and expansion of the left. Next, inhale, arms sweep back up. And as you exhale, your left hand might come down. Option to stay upright here, stretching through the right side body, or beginning to lean towards your left. Perhaps bringing the left side of your waist towards the right side and noticing what happens in your body as you do. The invitation is to stay curious. There's not a right or a wrong here. There's simply an invitation to notice what's asking for your attention in your body, to breathe into it, to be curious about it, this exploration of our bodies. Take your left arm, sweep it back up, take an inhale. Slide your hands down to your heart. You might notice your palms and your fingertips meeting. Now, option to move through that flow to the rhythm of your breath, beginning by interlacing your fingers, elbows lifting, collarbone expanding. And exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine, release your head and neck. On your inhale, option to sweep your arms up, perhaps sliding your biceps back, and wide arm twist here to your right. Back to center on your in-breath, opening to your left on your out-breath. Arms back to center, right hand finds the ground. You can extend straight up or you can lean to your right. Right arm might sweep back up. Left hand might come down, option to extend or to lean. Left arm might sweep back up, palms lowering down to your heart center. 2 more rounds in flow if that feels useful for you. Interlace your fingers, elbows lift and nudge apart. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, arms sweep up, biceps might slide back. And exhale, arms open wide to your right. Arms back to center as you breathe in. Opening to your left as you breathe out. Back to center on an in-breath. And as you exhale, your right hand might lower. You can extend tall, that's one option, or you might begin to lean here to your right. Back to center. Left hand might lower, option to extend or to lean to your left. Inhale to center. Sliding your hands down the midline to your heart. 1 more round here in flow if you like. Inhale, lift your elbows, broaden your collarbone. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your spine, drawing your chest towards your upper back. Inhale on your rise, maybe you slide your biceps back. And exhale, wide arm twist to your right. Back to center. Opening wide to your left. Back to center. Right hand comes down, option to lengthen or to lean. Inhale, both arms back up. Left hand lowers, option to lengthen or to lean. Sweep back up. And hands here might come down to your heart center, and fingertips might release to the ground in front of you. Now, if you're sitting on a block, you might lower your hips down here. If you're sitting on a blanket, if it feels comfortable for you there, you can stay where you are. So option to begin to walk your hands forward. As you walk your hands forward, you might keep the back of your hips rooted to the ground. An inhale here might extend your chest forward, and as you exhale, you can begin to walk forward. Head might release to gravity, or your gaze can be slightly forward, your choice. You might take a few breaths here, experimenting with the lengthening of your spine. Perhaps the drawing up and in of your lower belly, noticing where your core begins to participate in stabilizing your body. And breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, and inviting the attention of your mind to come into the same place as the action of your body. What is asking for your attention in your body, and what is the quality of the attention that you offer it? Are you moving into your body in a way that piles on stress, or in a way that begins to release it? Somewhere along the way, we begin to discover that whatever we practice, we get better at. Whatever we give energy to, it grows. So what if we began to explore how to step into our body in a way that felt both supportive, in a way that lifted sensation, but also in a way that felt easeful, that allowed us to release stress and tension rather than creating more. Walking your hands back as you feel ready, and making your way into a child form here. So your knees might be nice and wide. Your hips, they might lower back towards your heels. Option to keep your arms in extension here, or some of you might stack your hands and place your forehead on the top of your hands. If you're not sure which option to explore, you might experiment with both and allow the experience of your body to inform the choice that you make on your mat. So a few breaths in, child. Maybe inviting your hips to melt towards your heels. And then from your child, you have the option to rise up here onto your hands and your knees. Taking a moment to stack your shoulders over your wrists, to stack your hips over your knees, and you might spread your fingers nice and wide here. Now, if this feels uncomfortable on your knees, you can always slide a blanket or a pillow underneath your knees to provide you some support, some cushion. So just taking a moment to notice that and offer yourself some more support if that feels useful for you. So from here, your right leg might extend back and away. You have the option to keep the ball of your right foot on the mat, or to begin to float your right heel above it. You might begin to push your hands into the mat and to notice the relationship between the grounding of your hands and the rising of your chest in response. You might notice the ground and the rise and the energy in between. So if you'd like to move into your core here, you have the option to draw your knee into your chest, to draw your nose towards your knee, and to slide your right thigh up towards your body. You might take a breath in here and extend your right leg back as you exhale, 2 more rounds of breath here if you like. Inhale, hug your knee in. You might draw your nose to your knee. And as you exhale, extend back and away. Once more, inhale, hug your knee in. And exhale, extend it away. Again, option to keep your right foot on the ground or to float your right knee above it. And you can stay here with both of your hands on the ground. Some of you might experiment with shifting the weight into your right hand, extending your left arm forward, and beginning to explore space between your left fingertips and your right heel. In and out, breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, take a breath in. As you exhale, your left hand might lower if it's lifted, pushing the ground away with your hands once more, and we'll shift from here into a lunge. So slide your right foot forward. You might wiggle your back knee back. Now you have the option here to keep your hands on the ground. If you have blocks, you can place the blocks underneath your shoulders and to use the blocks to help support your hands. And as you press down into your hands, you might, if it's interesting to you, begin to explore the movement of energy in your body. So from here, your chest might rise. Your shoulders might soften. You might notice the expression that you're wearing on your face. If there's a sternness, a rigidity, a contraction, you might see what happens if you release some of that effort, if you soften the expression that you wear on your face in some way. How does that change the way you feel in your body? Then if you're ready here, you might begin to pitch your hips forward, bringing your attention to your left hip flexors and beginning to explore the lengthening all the way from your left knee up to the left side of your chest. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing where that place in your body, where that place is that allows sensation to rise, where you connect to the sensation of your body, and you might still be able to release some tension or stress or contraction that surrounds the space of that sensation. So there is both access to effort and ease. Perhaps that's what we explore. Take a breath in here. As you're ready, you can shift your hips back here, drawing your chest towards your toes and moving into the back of your right leg. Attention might shift to your hamstrings there. You can explore sliding your right hip back energetically. It's not about how much or how far. It's never about how deep that you go in the form. This is not yoga. Yoga is not about how much or how far or how deep. Yoga is about connecting to the here and now of your body, the sensations that arise, and where we might release stress and tension that's being held in our body. Yoga doesn't live in the big and the fancy. It lives in the quiet and in the subtle, in the here and in the now. Come forward here as you are ready. Now you have the option to keep your back knee on the ground. Some of you might choose to curl your toes under and to float your back knee above the ground. You can keep your hands where they are, or you might sweep your arms all the way up. Using the grounding of your feet to help stabilize the effort of your body. You might send your left heel back a bit so the left leg starts to participate in the support of your body, much like the right leg does. Then with your exhale, you might release here down into your hips. You might expand through your chest. And if you'd like to add a twist here, you can inhale to lengthen your spine And exhale, open your arms back wide to the right. Your right chest might roll towards your right upper back. Your fingers might expand, some softness in your hips and thighs. Breathing in and out for 3, 2, and 1. Take your arms back to center as you breathe in. Release your hands down. Release your back knee down. And we'll explore 2 rounds there in flow if you would like. So resetting your low lunge. On your in-breath, you can pitch your hips forward and invite your chest to rise. And on your out-breath, you might shift your hips back, drawing your chest towards your toes. Inhale, coming forward, option to keep your back knee down or to curl your toes under and to float your back knee. You might sweep your arms all the way up here. And as you exhale, melt down into your hips. Inhale, take up some space in your body, breathe in. And as you exhale, open wide here to your right. Arms sweep back to center on your in-breath. Release your hands down. You can release your back knee back down. 1 more round if you'd like. Feel free to rest if you prefer to rest. Inhale, shifting your hips forward, inviting your chest to rise. Exhale, shift back. Attention might shift to the hamstrings. Coming forward once again, option to float your back knee. And on your in-breath, you can sweep your arms up. With your exhale, you might melt here down into your hips. Inhale, expand your chest. And wide arm twist here to your right. Carrying your arms back to center. Release your hands down. This time, you might slide your right foot back, setting your blocks aside if you have them, and melting your hips once again back into your child. And a full breath in here through your nose. And a slow breath out. Full breath in through your nose. And a slow breath out. A full breath in here through your nose. And a slow breath out. Breathing and noticing that you're breathing. Perhaps exploring how to bring the attention of your mind into the same place as the action of your body. So from here, option to explore that sequence on the other side. So as you're ready, you can rise back up into your tabletop form. Perhaps stacking shoulders over wrists and hips over your knees. You might spread your fingers nice and wide and begin to press your hands down into the ground beneath your body. Attention might shift to your left leg. As you extend it, you have the option to keep the ball of your left foot on the ground. Some of you might float your left foot above it. And if you'd like to move into your core a bit more here, you have the option to slide your left thigh towards your chest, perhaps dropping your nose towards your knee and beginning to hug your thigh in towards your body. A breath in here, and we begin to move and flow. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hug your knee in, maybe nose to your knee as well. Exhale, extend, twice more. Inhale, hug it in. Exhale, extend. Inhale, hug it in. Exhale, extend. extend, take a breath in, and as you're ready, walk your left foot forward for your low lunge. Again, if you'd like to use your blocks, you can begin to draw them underneath the palms of your hands, positioning them in whatever place they feel supportive to your body. If you don't have blocks, you're free to place your fingertips on the ground. And as you're ready, you might encourage your chest to rise. You might notice if you're holding tension in your shoulders and explore whether there's any room to release it. Right? Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Sometimes that tension, it's stuck in the body. Sometimes we have the ability to release it. I think perhaps the offering of our attention to it somehow changes its shape in some way. Notice how that is experienced for you. What happens if you bring your attention to the intention of softening your shoulders? You might notice the expression that you're wearing on your face. If there's a sternness, how might it change your experience if you invite a softness instead? And then your hips, they might slide forward and your awareness might move to the right hip flexors, exploring length from your right knee to your chest. Breathing and noticing that you're breathing. And noticing how your breath interacts with the sensations in your body. And inhale here. As you exhale, shifting your hips back, beginning to slide your chest towards your toes and shifting your awareness here to the back of your left thigh. You might slide your left hip back a bit energetically. And of course, your left knee, it can be as bent as it feels useful and supportive for you for it to be. Breathing, so if you're holding your breath, notice and how might you shift the space of your body to allow your breath to flow again. Coming forward as you're ready, optionally keep your back knee on the ground or to curl your toes under and float your back knee above it. If it feels supportive to you, you can press into your feet, sweeping your arms up. And begin to melt into your front thigh and activate your back heel so both legs participate in supporting your balance. Take a breath in here. If you like, wide arm twist to your left, rolling your left chest open, extending your fingertips, and perhaps exploring this drawing up and in of your lower belly for 5. 4, breathing. 3, 2, and 1. Carrying your arms back to center as you breathe in. Release your hands back down. Release your right knee if it's lifted. And we'll explore 2 rounds in flow if you would like. So inhale, low lunge, chest rises, shoulders soften. And exhale, slide your hips back, extending your chest towards your toes. Inhale, come forward. Option to keep your back knee down or to float it above the ground. And to rise as you feel steady. You might melt into your hips as you exhale. Create some space in your chest as you inhale. And open wide to your left. Back to center. Release your hands down, release your back knee down, and inhale, chest rises. Exhale, shifting your hips back and shifting your attention to your hamstrings. Inhale, come forward. Option to keep your knee down or to float it. And option to rise. As you exhale, releasing some effort. As you inhale, expanding, and as you exhale, open wide to your left. Back to center. Release your hands down, stepping back onto your knees, sliding your blocks away if you have them, and from here, making your way onto your back, So we'll explore a few back bends here for those of you who would like to explore them. And so one way to do this might be to walk your feet up a little closer to your hips and maybe step them a little wider than hip distance apart. Arms might begin by the sides of your body. And on your in-breath, you can press down into your feet and begin to lift your hips up. Now, you might bring your attention to the back of your body, the back of your thighs and your spine, and you might draw those areas up towards the sky. So you might explore how the back of your body supports the rise and the opening at the front of your body. Option to keep your arms here down by the sides of your body, or to take your arms up by your ears and begin to press the backs of your arms down into the ground beneath you. And you can stay here and breathe, or you might choose to begin to flow. If you're flowing, take an inhale, lift your hips. And as you exhale, lower your hips, lower your arms. And on your next inhale, you might lift your hips, you might lift your arms, expanding the front line of your body. And as you exhale, you might lower it down. A few more rounds if you'd like, either holding the form or flowing back and forth between the rise and the release. Setting whatever pace and whatever rhythm for this flow feels useful and supportive for your body. Now, twice more here. On this last one, if you'd like to lift and hold, feel free to lift and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lowering your hips, lowering your arms. And you might begin to rock your knees side to side here. So this rocking of your knees side to side might give your spine an opportunity to release the effort from your back bends. It also creates some heat in the muscles of your hips. So a few more side to side here, if that feels useful for you. And as you feel ready, you can draw your knees into your chest and perhaps begin to rock a bit side to side here. If your shoulders are scrunched up by your ears, you might broaden them. And if you're rushing through the movement here, you might slow down. What do we wake up? What do we connect to in our bodies when we don't rush quite so much? When we slow down enough for the attention of our minds to actually catch up and enter the space of the action of our bodies. You can continue here for a few more breaths if you like. As you're ready, you might begin to walk your legs long. You have a bolster or a pillow that you'd like to slide under your knees that might provide some relief for your lower back, so you can set that up. And perhaps a few breaths together here before we shift into a resting form. So your arms might sweep up over your head as your legs extend long. Take a full breath in and a slow breath out. Full breath in. A slow breath out. A full breath in. And then a slow breath out. So as you shift into a resting form, you have the option of wrapping your arms around your body or opening your arms beside your body. If you're not sure which would be more supportive to you, you might experiment with both and allow the experience of your body to inform the choice that you make. And you might begin to release your body into the support of the ground beneath you. Scanning from the top of your head, perhaps down to the tips of your toes, and noticing if you're resisting gravity in any way. If you find that you are, and if it's useful for you to release a little more fully, you might explore that action of releasing. So stillness, quieting, resting, it's a practice just like anything else. And it happens to be a practice that's quite soothing for our nervous system. So whatever we practice, we get better at. And as we allow ourselves to rest, to pause, to quiet, to still, right, our nervous system is nourished. So we practice. Right, allow your body to release into the support of the ground, the breath to return to its most organic rhythm. Allowing a few moments here. Perhaps resting and noticing that you're resting. So your next breath might get just a little bit deeper. You might notice the expansion of your body as you breathe in, and the release as you breathe out. You might notice the expansion as you breathe in, and the release as you breathe out. As you're ready, you can return some movement to your body. You might do this by rocking your head side to side. Perhaps beginning to stretch and wiggle here through your fingers and your toes. Perhaps circling around a bit through your wrists and your ankles. If you'd like, from here, you can slide your arms back up. One more full breath together. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. And then as you're ready, just beginning to transition back up to your seat. Returning to a sitting position on your mat. You might place your palms back together at your heart center. In your own way and in your own words, take a moment to offer thanks to your body. For this body that is wrapped around your heart and your spirit. Take a moment to notice its grace, its power, its energy, its strength. And in your own words and in your own way, offer a thank you. The light in me bows and honors the light in you. Thank you for practicing with me today.